you, bro. And that's the whole point of the UFC, and people don't seem to get this. Is the reason why those guys aren't making zillions of dollars is that they don't last long enough.
No, and
Do,
it's
do you know that the heavyweight title, the record amount of defenses of the UFC heavyweight title is 3?
wow, really?
Yeah, that speaks volumes.
It does. It really does. And it's no one's really immune to it because they've had big stars, and it's the product is the star, not necessarily the.
You keep saying that Dana White has made himself and the product bigger than he has the athlete, hasn't he?
100%. He is the face of UFC in many ways. Right now there's no stars in UFC. And I think Dana likes it that way because he could control the pockets even more.
He doesn't have to pay, and I don't know if I told you this, man, but you got to give him some props for some. Let me tell you some of this attendance he's been getting. Holy cow!
Mm-hmm.
He did in Rio de Janeiro. He did 16,000 last week. The October 4th, he did 19,000 people in Vegas. Perth, Australia. That was September 20th, he did 13,000 people, 18,000 people the week before in San Antonio, Texas. Paris, France, he did 15,000 people, and he did a card in Shanghai, China, where they have no attendance because and he did something in Chicago at the United Center. That was August 16th. He did 20,000 people. So as far as drawing, he's doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? He's just he's just a pimp. I keep saying it like this, and people don't get this. I was a cop in San Francisco. If a hooker worked for a pimp, and he told her, "Guess what, baby? You're only getting to keep $10 out of this $100 bill." The hooker would get on the first plane or the first Greyhound bus out of town to St. Louis, okay? But in the world of the UFC, they don't have a choice. They have to. They work for 10% of the earnings, where the NFL gets 45 to 50% of the earnings. Like Major League Baseball can go on and on, but the bottom line is we got to roll to a break. This is Ring Talk Live Worldwide on Sports Byline.
Do you have diabetes? I'm sure you've seen the television commercials on the new CGM devices from all the top brands and how well they can help you manage your diabetes. Do you have the latest and newest in diabetes technology? The Diabetes Solutions Center carries most of the top brands, and the great news is your insurance may cover most of the cost. Call our special CGM hotline today, and our friendly representatives will help see if you qualify. You could get a new CGM from the top brands at little or no cost to you. Make living with diabetes easier. You are just one free phone call away to learn if your insurance covers the cost. So make this free call today to the Diabetes Solutions Center and learn for free how to get your new continuous glucose monitor.
800-659-7997. 800-659-7997. 800-659-7997. That's 800-659-7997.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer you get from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer. And we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find. Tough lawyers that will fight to win your case. And they're so good they stake their reputation on it by only getting paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or hurt on the job, find out today for free what kind of compensation you may be entitled to. Call the legal helpline right now.
800-401-5163. 800-401-5163. 800-401-5163. That's 800-401-5163. It's time for you to come to Branson, Missouri for the trip of a lifetime. Located right in the middle of the country, you can drive or fly there. We put together a deal of a lifetime for you to experience Branson. Right now, you can get a 3-day, 2-night package for only $79 total. We're even including 4 free Branson show tickets. Call the special Branson hotline number right now to learn more. 800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. If you've never been to Branson, Missouri, come visit and see what we have to offer. Beautiful lakes, casual and upscale restaurants, tons of shows and activities for everyone. And for $79 total, you can't beat it. So pick up your phone right now and call the Branson Travel Hotline. Claim your 3-day, 2-night package plus 4 free show tickets for only $79 total. Call now, 800-497-7198. That's 800-497-7198.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
Darkest of night with the moon shining bright. There's a set going strong, a lot of things going on. The man of the hour has an air of great power. The dudes have envied him for so long. Oh, Superfly.
It ain't bragging when you're telling the truth. Straight up, this is Ring Talk Live Worldwide. You're inside looking at the world of boxing and MMA. Going to question Boxing's PhD right here on the Professional Fighters League, PFL. Is an American mixed martial arts league. Evidently, they're doing boxing now, and I wonder, is that one of Dana White's things here?
No, I believe that's separate because the PFL, which is they started in MMA. I did not know that they were venturing into boxing. That's where Clarissa Shields fought in.
I think this is boxing here. I mean, maybe not. Who knows? No, it's PFL. Maybe they are. Yeah, these guys do look like MMA. I don't know. They look like MMA guys. Bottom line is, but I thought they were spinning off into boxing since it was the top of Fight News. Speaking of Fight News, of course, there's another boxing source, and it's been the greatest source over the years. But the bottom line is, if you're looking for any opinion, you'll never find it there.
In Fight News?
Yeah, no opinion, just fact. They just report.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
for years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Carl Freitag, Carl Freitag runs a good show there. He got upset one time. I got on his case, and he got upset when people getting upset with me. And of course, it was Flat Top. Flat Top for the longest time, he was like the face of FightNews.com. And of course, he passed away a couple years ago. May he rest in peace. Now, all these stories about Manny Pacquiao. Why is he so relevant at the age of 46 years old? Are we back to the story of the fact that boxing is so dead that they got to resurrect some guy that's been out of his prime almost 10 years?
I think that's some truth to that statement. Absolutely. Boxing could have done Manny. Not that he deserved it, but I think he did. He should have got the decision against his last time out. Against the Mexican fighter.
The 147-pound guy from the WBC, Sergio, whatever his name.
Yeah, the worst.
Barentes.
The worst welterweight champion I probably can remember. That's we can't remember against Barrios. And they could have done right by Manny. Manny could have. You figure Manny would have gone off into the sunset with that win, but fame and fortune are intoxicating.
No, I don't think it's fame and fortune. I think he's just greedy.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, he lives. Listen, if you watch a Manny Pacquiao press conference, you see him and Jinky. They are a walking billboard for Saks Fifth Avenue. I mean,
bling.
Listen, that lifestyle is not cheap. And Manny, and good for him because to the victor go the spoils. He's a good humanitarian in his country. He's a beyond.
He couldn't, but time out. Mm-hmm. He couldn't beat a Marcos for president. Marcos smoked him like a blunt.
Well, there's levels to life. In politics. People think boxing is corrupt and dirty. Nothing is worse than politics.
Wait. We're talking about the son of Ferdinand Marcos. Ferdinand Marcos was like the most corrupt guy in the Filipino history, without a doubt. Maybe one of the most corrupt guys in world history. He was a piece of work. He tried to, he tried to tell John Lennon? He called John Lennon on the phone when the Beatles were over in the Philippines. He said, "Come over to my house." John Lennon hung up the phone on him.
Wow.
I ain't coming over to your house. What are you, high? Bang, hung up the phone. I mean, that's John Lennon, though. And, of course, he had his comings and goings, and he killed president, the people's president, Mr. Aquino. he killed him. I mean, I met his wife. I was a bodyguard for his wife in like 1986, I believe, here in San Francisco when she was president at that point in time, and she was touring the United States. But the bottom line, she was a nice lady, and Nino Aquinos, I think it was her husband. But the bottom line is, Mark, he took a step off the plane. Let me tell you, when his foot was in the air, when the foot was coming off the step to hit the ground, they shot him. I mean, that's how. Whoa! Did you see that shooting?
No, I mean I've only heard of it, but I've never seen.
Man,
There's actually video footage.
Oh yeah, there's video footage of it. Much like Charlie Burke. Charlie Burke. Hey, you know what?
Charlie Kirk?
Is that Charlie Kirk? Is Burke Charlie Kirk? Charlie Burke? I'm not a fan of these guys, so I don't know the names. Anyway, boxing coming back to Cuba. I'm not a big fan of Cuban boxing because of the fact that it tends to be dull. But the WBA, evidently, the world of Bunko and Anarchy, and Ajon Promotions are going to put in some fights here at the in Cuba. You know, Cuba's got a lot of
professional boxing.
Yeah, some boxing. Cuba's got a lot of good things going for it. I mean, I've been there. The kids are the smartest kids I've ever encountered. I've been to 34 countries. Okay, and I've always wanted to encounter the youth to see where they're at. Okay, and as far as kids are concerned, the Cuban kids speak Spanish and English. They speak it super fluently. In fact, and some of them don't even have an accent speaking English. None.
And they have one of the highest literacy rates in the world.
The highest.
Yeah. So, and you look at their teeth, they're nice. Listen, there's a lot of bad things about socialism, but there's also a lot of good things you can see. And, you're not going to see, you won't hear, CNN talk about it or Fox or whatever, but, you
medicine,
see these people,
man, socialized medicine.
Yes. Listen,
this is the only country in the world where being a doctor, I mean, where medicine is not, co-funded, or there isn't a single payer plan or something like that. I mean, you can't name another big country. I can't. You can't either.
Well, doctors here are more, legalized drug dealers than anything else. I mean, they're just shills for the pharmaceutical companies. But I don't want to get,
no. Let's be honest. I don't take nothing. I don't. I mean, no. They say, they would like to give me this for my arthritic back. I mean, you know what? I can stretch my back out, do hot tubs, that kind of stuff, stretch the jacuzzi. There's other things I can do. I don't need to be taking none of these chemicals. And once you get hooked on something, I have a friend of mine that's hooked on laxatives. I mean, that sounds terrible, but he's hooked on laxatives. He can't operate the day without a laxative.
I've never heard that.
Yeah,
that's insane.
He got hooked on us. What do you mean? How are you talking about? He goes, I'm hooked on. I said, I didn't want him to go into detail, as you can imagine, but the bottom line is,
right?
It is what it is. Looking back in time, of course, this is October 2025. Let's look back over the year. Has anything really stood out that would make boxing? I mean, the Canelo and Crawford fight. Outside of that, and of course, Crawford did gangster slap Canelo for most of the fight. The fact that Canelo never tried to assert his will, he never tried to win, and you know what? And the Mexican fans, they still gave him a pass. I don't get it, bro. That I'm appalled.
Wow. Well, you really have to be a huge fanboy. They gave him a pass. Listen, I don't think so much Canelo didn't try. I just think he couldn't do anything with it. It was just Chinese algebra, man. You can't do nothing with it.
Good point.
I think he beat the will out of Canelo that night, and it was evident after the 6th, 7th round. It was just like the separation, skills, pay the bills. And Crawford, if there's a rematch, I'm fascinated if there'll be a rematch, because I think next time Terrence might knock him out.
Okay. Virgil Ortiz, why can't he get a fight? Why can't he get that fight that's going to like da-da-da-da? Why can't he get that fight?
Well, if you look at his resume out of his contemporaries, he probably has the best one. And he's actually has a pretty intriguing fight coming up against Erickson Lubin, who, young guy, kind of like has resurrected his career the last couple of years on a little bit of win streak. So that's an intriguing fight. Look, Virgil Ortiz, for me, is the best 154 in the world. I think he, has proven it, that he's got a lot of switches in his game. I think he can brawl. I think he can box. He fights in a fan-friendly fashion. the biggest fights out there, it's up to Golden Boy. They have to push the envelope. They have to be willing to go across the negotiation table and get him the mega fight at 54, which would be against Boots Ennis.
All right. Top Rank has no TV. Main event.